End of the halftime intermission. Third quarter set to go. Brought to you by Riley's Oyster. 3 great locations downtown in Fed Hill, Mount Vernon, and of course Padonia Road. Great places. Be bold. Try some oysters. Ty, let's talk about the first half. What'd you love?
I think St. Paul's did a really good job coming out hot. Great first quarter. Gilman countered with those goals by Jimmy Williams, those 3 goals. Love their zone look. I think it's stifling St. Paul's shooters a little bit, making things difficult for them. So I'm looking forward to the second half. Saw Gilman turn the tide a little bit by winning some face-offs. Always love this matchup, Booker. Very rarely going to be a blowout.
Yep. 2 teams who obviously very well coached and amazingly experienced. They know how to build programs, Rick Mercado and Brooks Matthews, as do MIA head coaches. That's why it's the league. Be bold. Get down to Riley's Oyster. I'll be at Padonia Road later tonight. We'll be back with the face-off for the Royal Farms game of the week. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. It's Gilman man up to start the third quarter. Not a terrible day for lacrosse. We get these storms to hold off. We'll be all right. Booker Corrigan, Ty Zanders bringing you the call. Saved by Barreto. Goes across his body, punches that one out. Great ride by Gilman. And they do create the turnover. Andy Matthews corrals it. St. Paul's has killed off the man down. And McGovern, what a hustle play. He brings so much to the table, does Alex McGovern.
No, he's not just an offensive midi. Just a simple lefty shooter. I think he can do so much between the lines. We saw him do that on Tuesday. Losing effort against McDonough. Looking forward to seeing him play in Chapel Hill with Andy Matthews and Jack Halpert of the Greyhounds.
That was a tap. Oh, ball out of the stick of Carter Flagg. I'll tell you what, mark down the date. I've never seen that happen before. Still 6-6 here in the third quarter, brought to you by Riley's Oyster. Be bold. TJ Orsler settles up with Zach Cohen and Charlie DeMuth. This is Cohen. Orsler right hand. And here's Matthews coming around righty. Gets the feet up top. DeMuth with room. Yes, sir!
Great job by Matthews there, drawing the slide and ripping over to DeMuth, who I think is one of the more underrated players in the entire league. Ahead of Dickinson. It's part of that Baltimore underclass championship team this summer.
That Under Armour underclass tryout process, if you want to measure yourself against the best in your region, that's the only place you can do it. Because everybody's there, all the college coaches are there, everybody's trying to play their best to make that team, and also, even if you don't make the team, you're going to get recruited by the schools that love you the most. And we got a loose ball push, going to be Gilman possession here with the Greyhounds up 7-6. Christopher Williams. And now it's Waxner. Great little shimmy by Matthews. Shot, goal. Andy Matthews. Bird job.
Barely above GLE.
Yep.
Ripped it home.
And you're not going to sharp angle dunk very often on A.J. Barretto. Referee Julian Jake says that's clearly from the side, and they let him play on. That might be from behind. Call over and back there. And Gilman, some momentum right now. Dylan Bird now in for the Greyhounds, number 11 in blue. Matthews again gets them all tied up. Comes around righty. More of a crowd pleaser than anything. Wow. And we're going to get a moving pick there, and it's going to be St. Paul's possession.
Got his man caught in the net there. A little flounder action.
What a ride. What a great check by Jake Waxner. Just an amazing effort. It was such an amazing effort, the defender had no idea it was going to happen. Wade Orsler now in, number 4 for Gilman. Coach Brooks Matthews certainly does know how to run guys in. He gets a lot of guys a lot of time, and that improves how hard they practice. Here's Matthews. Matthews double teamed, possesses. Williams.
Big save there by Barretto. To stop that Gilman run a little bit. See what they have in terms of offensive possession.
Togo with a little sky whammy. Dawes Milchling comes up to get it. Crusaders are on sides. And here's Ben Bagley, have some. Oh, yes, sir. Little Benny Bagley. Go do that voodoo that you do so well. 8-7, closes it to 1. Face-offs now, Ty. St. Paul's was on a huge roll. And Gilman's come back nicely to compete. And, of course, as I say that, the broadcaster's jink is in full effect. Patrick Carey. And here's Kevin Wynn. Carter Flagg picks up the loose ball. Time and room, yes, sir.
Pretty similar to that same goal he had earlier in the game.
It is, exact same corner. And you can't fault Schmerler for that one. Although you can credit the St. Paul shooters for really picking spots right now.
Seen some runs all over the place here today. 2 straight by St. Paul's after, I think, 3 or 4 straight by Gilman.
Knotted up at 8. Alex McGovern doing what Alex McGovern does. He might have a shot here too, folks.
Not much heat on that one, but
No, it wasn't.
simple bouncer from McGovern.
And again, we were just talking about how they're placing their shots very well right now, and St. Paul's goes on a 3-goal run to take the lead 9-8.
And again, I don't want to be Mr. Obvious, but whenever you can catch the opposing defense unsettled right off the face-off, you'll take that shot, especially a kid as great of a shooter as McGovern is. And he's been scoring big goals for them all year long. 3 cruisy goals in about a minute.
Eli Ayer pushes it forward. And that's going to be Gilman possession. Zach Jones with the clear for the Hounds. 6 minutes left here, third quarter, brought to you by Riley's Oyster. Fed Hill, Mount Vernon. If you're going to a show at the Lyric or the Hippodrome, it's right there. There's no other place you can go, before and after. And if it's me going to the show, it's before, during, and after, because I won't make it to the show. Fabio Beltran, number 17 for Gilman in. This is Waxter. Will slip by Waxter. Uh-oh.
That's a terrible goal to give up.
That's a defensive error. Now, what it is how do you handle adversity? As a coach, how do you handle that adversity? Because everybody's down on themselves. How do you let your team handle it? How do they pull themselves out of that? Because it's an unfortunate turn of events for the Crusaders. No big deal. Oh, Eli Ayer moved a little early there. It's going to be Gilman possession. Waxter. Nine to 9, Ty. You smell overtime?
I don't know, Book. Way too much time
You
left.
tell me at the end of regulation? Oh.
I'm not a huge fan of predictions.
Okay. McGovern, and they got a 3-on-0 at the midfield.
And he'll want
they
this
got
shot.
too many
You know
guys.
this. I had one thing right. Good save there by Schmerler.
Schmerler's a baller. Joe Pollard comes out with it. Up top, Milchling. We've seen him light it up today. Milchling draws the double. Here's McGovern. And the Gilman Greyhounds having their way right now. Carlisle Turner wheeling it for the Hounds, and he is now getting harassed by McGovern. Under 4 minutes to go. Riley's Oyster, I tell you, Ty, their Padonia Road place, it's huge. If you have a group of folks that want to eat great seafood, get to Riley's Oyster. Support the people who support your kids. Shot saved Barreto. Woody Kelly with the shot.
Should I want to be a little bit more careful during this this clear
A little bit
after
more
what
deliberate.
happened last time. Yep.
1, 2, 3, they're on sides. Good. Now
Important to be patient, but not too patient on a clear.
And now they got a time problem. You can see referee Elwood Blues over there counting. And we had a timeout by Coach Rick Mercado, a great timeout. This is the Royal Farms Game of the Week. Get to Royal Farms, surcharge-free ATMs all the time. Great food, everything you need in a convenience store, and surcharge-free ATMs to boot. Fantastic place. Thank you so much to Royal Farms. St. Paul's possession. That's Jack Pollard running righty. Gets it. Oh, yes, sir. Jack Pollard. Right up top where Mama hides the Thin Mints. And the Crucies come out of the timeout. I wonder what play they called the timeout. Hey, Jack, why don't you start with it and just sweep right-handed and score? And we'll just run something else later. And again, faceoffs playing such a critical role. And I'd like to also note St. Paul's handled the adversity of basically scoring on their own net with the errant pass defensively. They've come back in tremendous fashion. That's one of the things I look for when I'm evaluating a team is how do they handle adversity amongst themselves. This is Kevin Wynn for the Crusaders. Pollard. Great backup by Mitch Gordon. DiPietro lowers the shoulder, gets an angle. Gordon from behind. Pollard. Awful comfortable with that right-hand sweep right now. Flag flips. And we draw a foul there. DiPietro, now he's got top side. Ball goes on the turf, and we will learn the foul, but credit Kyle DiPietro. It's going hard at the cage. 1:27 left here, third quarter, brought to you by Riley's Oyster. Tremendous, tremendous seafood establishment. Fed Hill and their orange crushes are second to none. Fed Hill, Mount Vernon, and of course, Padonia Road. Flag. .15 seconds remaining on the foul. Oh, what a pickoff by Schmerler. This Gilman man-down unit is unbelievable.
A lot of great players for Gilman. I think Schmerler's been their MVP so far this year. Has stood on his head in several occasions for the Hounds. Toff's got a great recruit next year. Mike Daly loves to have those goalies can make the stop, lead the clear, fast-paced offense. He'll be great up in Medford.
35 seconds remaining here, third quarter. Brought to you by Riley's Oyster. The Padonia Road location is just pristine. Matthews driving in, up top. Great shot just over the head. Carlisle Turner with the shot. And 21 seconds left, plenty of time. St. Paul's late on the pickup of Waxner, but a great little strip check. Crusader defender. And that'll do it for the third quarter. What an exciting quarter of lacrosse. The Royal Farms Game of the Week, bringing you amazing MIAA action all spring long. Get to Royal Farms, surcharge-free ATMs, and of course, their world-famous chicken and western fries. You can't beat it. Thank you so much to Riley's Oyster, the home of the third quarter here on the MIAA Royal Farms Game of the Week.